I reacted to this live on stream today. Me and Harry were doing the coaching. I had no idea this kind of announcement was going to be made. We took a look at it, and honestly, both of us were flabbergasted. It's probably the most aggressive, like most crazy thing I've ever seen Blizzard do. I get Plunderstorm was like wildly different, but it was super insular. Like it was just one thing. You did it, and that was it. If you had no interest in the actual, concept of it, you probably didn't really care. This is something else entirely. I cannot believe what they're doing here. Obviously, we don't know for full what it's going to be, but it is going to be testable on Friday. I will be streaming it, probably a lot. So stay tuned for Friday. Hopefully, it'll be stable and we can take a look at it on Friday. Maybe even Saturday. We'll see. I can't promise that right now. But if it seems like there's enough to do, I'll probably be playing it one way or the other Saturday. I just don't know that I can dedicate the full 4 hours to it. So, anyway, if you guys didn't see, I read this on a live stream. I don't want to tease you guys with it. If you want to go watch it, you can or whatever. I'm not going to read it all over again. TLDR, they're doing basically another like server type thing that's not related to the actual live characters. And they are going to be totally focused on a PvE environment that's taking you back to Mists of Pandaria. Looking at some of this stuff, it makes me think it is not actually exactly Mists of Pandaria. There's a bunch of like infinite dragons and stuff in some of the screenshots, and I guess like an infinite bazaar, that's where you buy stuff. So it's probably just going to be mildly changed, but I assume most of the content will be exactly the same. Maybe even all the content. The questions I have right now are, what are they going to do about content that was removed? Like they have the thing here on Wowhead about the legendary cloak. I don't have time to read all of this to you guys right now, but you can check all this out on Wowhead. And, my big questions are like the dailies, the Mists of Pandaria dailies. How does this all factor in? I have no idea. What is the function of leveling? What is the overall purpose of it? Is it literally just, mess around and then, raids and stuff? We were talking about whether or not endgame PvE content was actually going to be group based. It still appears to be based on what Blizzard posted. So I'm going to start with this here. We're going to read this here. And, this is what it says on the Dark Heart PTR, starting Friday, April 12th. That is 2 days from now, 10 a.m. So this is right around the time I would normally start streaming anyway. So we'll be doing this for sure. This is 1 o'clock at my time, so stay tuned. We expect to conclude this test on Sunday, so only 2 days, which I'm kind of surprised by. And I think that means probably next week for alpha for sure then. Anyway, level 10 to 70 will be available. I have no idea what the purpose of starting at level 10 is. I guess that's just because, they want you to start like a class that's a little bit formed already. I like starting at level 1. I would definitely prefer to start at level 1, but 10's fine too. All Pandaria zones, pretty much everything that's going to be present in the final product is going to be testable. Normal and heroic scenarios, normal and heroic dungeons. LFR, 10-player normal, 10-player heroic, MSV, Heart of Fear, Terrace of Eternal Spring, and Throne of Thunder. And then very specifically, it says LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic Siege of Orgrimmar. So this is basically just like classic sounding like. It's taking us back to the final patch of Mists of Pandaria where Siege of Orgrimmar was present, Mythic was present, and they had all 4 difficulties for it, even though that was not initially how it was in Mists of Pandaria. The weird thing about it is it says 10-player heroic, which is kind of weird. I don't know why you would specify that. 10-player normal and 10-player heroic for all the old raids, and then not 10-player blah, blah, blah. Is that how it was in MoP? I don't understand why they would specify that. Like, is the maximum 10 players? I have no idea what the purpose of these raids even are at this point, considering if you guys, again, didn't see it, you really should check it out. Basically, like, a fully revamped gearing system and power system is coming with it. Talking about infinite player power. Who knows what that means? I'm very, very excited for it. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what it could be and why I will like it so much in a second here. But I just wanted to confirm that, all this stuff is coming. All of the progression, including the Cloak of the Infinite Potential, spell gems, and new itemization. So this is like their full gambit of power. And that seems like what the full gameplay is going to be about. So if we can see the original post, it would probably be better to talk over that. But the thing that got me so excited was it's basically sounding to me like almost like a Diablo style loot system. People have said, Hero said PoE, never really played the game. I don't know what the differences would be, but like regardless, this is not even the right post. But yeah, regardless, it says, there's going to be tons of ways to get power. All right, let me read that to you because that's crucial to me. And I really like that. Accelerated leveling and content allowing you to take on nearly every quest, scenario, dungeon, and raid. I have no idea what that means. Like, why is that a feature? I don't know what that means. Why is that a feature? That's how the game is right now. So what is the distinction here? Why would you ever not be able to take on every quest, scenario, dungeon, and raid? Like, are they saying that because they are telling you they're not removing anything? Okay, that should be the case as default. So anyway, create a WoW remix character starting level 10. So it's like a separate character list. These characters will then transfer over once the event is over. We don't know how long the event's going to be, I don't think yet, but this is the important part. A mountain of loot. Get powerful items from everywhere. Quests, chests, creatures, bosses. Is it just like Diablo then? I mean, that's exactly how Diablo works. And honestly, WoW needs this badly. Its leveling schema is totally dated. And like we said on stream today, like most people probably just look at it as a checklist. Like they have to do it. They don't have any interest in doing it. If it was removed, they would probably be happy. But it kind of can't be removed because that's how they deliver the basic stories. So we're in this weird interstitial space. And honestly, they've probably hit the nail on the head here with this. Is this a feature that will be, kind of moved over to live WoW at some point? Maybe. But as of right now, I think they're using this and Plunger Storm as like a testing ground, something that's not going to interfere with live WoW's like progression and how people like over min max bullshit on that, on your main characters. I think that this is a place to go and just have fun. And hopefully people won't they won't go ridiculous with it like on Classic and ruin it and make it unfun for your average player. But I do really like what it sounds like it is right now. Now, we also have some very interesting stuff here because customizable items allowing you to power up as far as you can go to take on tougher content. When I first read all this, I'm thinking like, are you going to be able to solo stuff? We'll see. If it come out today, I'm probably checking out Blood DK. It would be very interesting to be able to solo stuff. And if it's truly as power driven as it sounds, and the raids are not the only way you get that power, and I would really like to try to see what I can solo. That would be one thing I would like to do. Another thing I would like to do is do proper leveling challenges on there. Depending on how it actually works, I could see myself really enjoying that. I haven't done a lot of leveling challenges recently, but I have a whole second channel dedicated to leveling challenges and kind of world content in general. There's a lot of stuff coming in this patch that is very interesting to me for that reason. And this is number one, obviously. But the reason it's number one is convert unwanted items into bronze, which can be used to upgrade items or purchase cosmetics. So upgrade items sounds very attractive to me. This is one of the main things I like about like Diablo style loot. Basically, you get an item and the item's not done when you get it. Kind of in WoW, it's almost done. Now they did implement some upgrading stuff, but really, I don't really look at that as the same thing. But like in especially the Diablo 2 mod that I was working on and co-opted from another person, there's a system where you get something called a soul. The soul augments the gear. You know what I mean? So you get the gear you might want as a baseline. All right, this is a good baseline piece. Then you get something else that makes the gear even stronger. And this encourages you to do a lot of killing and content in general. And it gives you an opportunity to never be done with the gearing process. And I love that. That's my favorite thing about like the Diablo mod that I was working on and the concept in general. And I think WoW desperately needs that, even for endgame PvE, frankly. To have a finite level of power that you gain and then nothing else really sucks. But I don't know how you would do it given the way content works currently. But I'm really glad to see that this is, basically everything I would want from world content. And at least in principle, we don't know how it's going to play out, but it sounds like everything I would want, especially considering you could then use those to buy additional things that I might be able to use on my account. There's a lot of cosmetics. If you guys didn't see any of these articles, they are really going all out here. Like we're talking about stuff that just, I'm really shocked. Like, let's put it that way. Probably the coolest mount in the game as well, by the way, coming to that Pandaria in Phoenix. I have no idea what the hell this is, why this is like a Quelsarar lookalike. No idea why that's going to be in there, but either way, tons of really, really, really cool transmog. I mean, that backpack, we like that. Little chicken on it. So yeah, I'm probably going to really mess around with this, really hit this hard. I'm just going to let you guys know, like, if it's what I expect it to be. Now, it's not like it's coming out this week, but if it's what I expect it to be, I will probably stop doing Mythic Plus entirely and do that. Like that'll be my main source for the few weeks. All that content is going to be on the other channel. We'll talk about that as we get closer. Current estimation is like June. So obviously like season 4 would be like, we'd be like 2.5 months into season 4 at that point. So, fair. That's we put some work in at that point. But yeah, I'm really, 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 really excited for the idea of it. I really hope it's what I expect it to be, frankly. I'm sure I'll be slightly disappointed. Like I don't think I'll get exactly what I want out of it. But it sounds like it's gonna be damn close. And that's great. And that's not the only thing coming. There's more than just a patch. I mean, I don't know like what this is. I didn't actually read this yet. Is this Pandaria stuff specifically? Scrolls, yeah, it's only for that. Okay. Not sure what we would need those for. I guess because it's only gonna be 10 man. So there's a bunch of Mythic Plus LFG improvements. Basically like the actual, system, or I don't know what you want to say, like the menu, I guess, is getting a bunch of changes. This is not it. I don't know. Where we're. Here it is. Here, yeah. You're gonna actually be able to do almost everything that the add-on that a lot of people are using can do. You can sort only by dungeon, only by role available. If the class is already present for some reason, and then tank or healer already present, that's pretty much just by default. With I think it's Angry Keystone says that for me. But yeah, most of the stuff is pretty obvious, but it does sound like it's going to be really, a big kind of visual update to the system. So I'll be looking forward to checking that out too. There was a post about trinket tuning. I didn't read that either. There's just so much going on here. But yeah, this is probably like the biggest patch of the expansion in my book. Like, I'm really shocked at how so much has come. Dragonflight is just like 11 out of 10. I am really, really, really impressed. I made a video on this back in the beginning of the middle of Dragonflight about why Dragonflight was my favorite expansion and why WoW is the best state it's ever been in. We talked about it, me and Harry, today. There's just infinite amounts of hours you can play between Classic, Season of Discovery, Wrath, now Kata. Obviously, I'm not interested in that product that much, but still, that's all there. Then you have Plunder Storm. Soon you'll have the mop thing. You got Live WoW. You know what I mean? There's all the different ways to play Live WoW. It's just absurd. Blizzard has totally gone from like I said, like 6 years ago, there was nothing. It was just one version of the game. If you didn't like it, you didn't play it. And now there's like 5 different products, 5 different ways to play, and then obviously a myriad of ways to play within those individual products, to the point that you probably will never exhaust everything each product offers. I don't know how you would ever do that. So this is really encouraging. I'm really happy with Blizzard's work ethic on this. It seems like the alpha is actually coming soon too, but maybe not this week, I guess, still, because obviously they're not going to override. Like I can't imagine they're going to drop it tomorrow and then this is Friday. But yeah, probably next week. So we are like lined up. Like we got stacks. And then the following week, season 4, you know what I mean? Like we are stacked. It's gonna be insane. But yeah, hopefully this is stable on Friday and we can take a look at it. I'm really interested in seeing what this actually is and what it does to the game. And like I said, crossing my fingers that it is finally the world content experience I've always wanted, and that it'll be very engaging to do leveling challenges on. Maybe I won't even need to do leveling challenges on. Maybe I simply will just play classes and characters that I don't normally play, and it'll be enjoyable. I don't know that I will enjoy playing a tank. Usually, like the way it's always gone for me is Blood DK is very fun to play, but only really in group content. Like I cannot stand playing Blood DK in world content. 99% of the time, it's very, very boring. Zero challenge whatsoever. It's just like a mass. Can I grip 15 mobs in? If so, do that. It's not really something I look forward to doing. I love doing leveling challenges on characters that have to fight for their survival. Like ideally, like something like a Rep Pally would be really good because they have lots of ways to heal themselves, interact with their own health, and they also have lots of burst damage. Like that's ideal. You know what I mean? So if there's no actual PvP and no like nonsense going on in the world, I would love to engage in a situation where I can play this as almost like a single player type thing. Like obviously it won't be fully single player, but like something where I could focus on my own character and try, and engage in all the systems that are offered and see what it looks like. So we'll see. I'm really, 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 really excited about this. I hope that it's even a tenth of what I'm expecting. And I'm very, very, very eager to see what this means for the future of WoW and the future of leveling and how that all plays in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. The future is bright. That's all I can say. So let me know what you guys think. And if you didn't see it, me and Harry talked about this probably for a good like 30, maybe 45 minutes on stream in the middle of a key. And then he went to solo save the final boss of Blackrock Hold and randomly used Icebound Fortitude and ended up dying because of it was like such a gambit of emotion. We went from like I was like the happiest I've ever been about WoW, and then like I was just utterly depressed watching him die like that. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to hear you guys' thoughts on this, what you're most excited about, and your general like thought on if this is gonna impact WoW's future. And hopefully see you guys on Friday. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.